Hi there. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the cult. Not things I do know about that I don't want to discuss, but here's a more palatable version of things. I've managed to acquire a cauldron from a witch. I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. That's not important. This one is actually less than impressive. It's nothing like the tree I had. The tree I had was, designed well. It was thick. It was just overall good quality. This is just a cheap piece of plastic. But it was a fair price. As you can see, this thing is full of candy. There are little spiders. I don't know if you can see that or not. Little grubs. I think they're grubs anyway. I don't know, I guess it could be a worm. Probably a grub. Let's see what the ingredients are on this thing. Oh, corn syrup. Oh, that's real good. Sugar, gelatin, so that's horse bones. Natural fruit juice. Oh, okay, that could be not so bad. Concentrate. Sorbitol. Pectin. Citric acid. Malic acid. Canarubic wax. Sodium citrate. Artificial flavors. And artificial colors. Oh, so the usual kind of junk. It ran through at about $12. There's actually, does appear to be enough candy in here for dispensing on Halloween, if you want to be tight-fisted about it and give the tiniest candies in the world. Why am I talking about a witch's cauldron, you might ask, and how that relates to the cult? Well, there are different variations of people's understanding of this item that's associated with Halloween. In most ways, it's quite harmless and, nothing to worry about, but there are some people that take it a tad too far. I will show you a couple examples of how this thing could be creepy through modern-day media, and how, a well-grown, responsible young man can deal with this problem of witches, because they do live among us. Some of them are more harmless than others, and some are a little bit too. They're too much. Can't stand them. Because I'm of the old school. I watched Tales from the Crypt Keeper when I grew up, and there were three people who told the stories. There was the Crypt Keeper, obviously, there was the Old Witch, and there was the Vault Keeper. And I make the argument that the only person who should be telling the stories is the Crypt Keeper. It is his show, and therefore he should be the one telling the stories, the spooky stories. The whole concept of witches is, not that big a deal. It's been around in Western culture for hundreds, if not thousands of years. There are different levels of it. There's a whole history about it. I did see a Leonard Nimoy documentary about witches. I kind of feigned interest, so I don't remember it entirely that well. But it was, kind of interesting. I'm going to show you a clip from Clash of the Titans, where there were witches who had to share an eye for them to see. And
Hello, thank you.
Sounds like a man. A young man.
movie, but yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. Kind of annoyed me. Anyway, here's a movie, Jack Frost, which was made years ago, and I've taken the clip from Mystery Science Theater 3000 on how I would go about dealing with some old hag, some old witch that I don't like, that's caused me problems, because witches will be acclimatized to these type of videos that I'm making. That's just naturally going to happen with powers of this dark nature.
The dog ate her at the end. Okay? Well, she's really a great old gal. It's over between us, Ross. Let's go to America and start the Brighton Beach mob.
It's all pretty creepy stuff. It really, like for some women, it just goes out of control. It's one thing to look at things from a historical point of view and go, well, they're not all so bad. Some of them were mistreated, particularly with the dunkings that pastors of religious churches used to do, the witch trials and all that sort of stuff. They probably overdid it a bit on women who didn't deserve anything. They were just a bit ugly, that's all. Because that's the funny thing about it is the pretty women didn't have to go through dunkings so much. Which is okay. Another cool movie to watch is Sleepy Hollow. That has a witch in it who controls the horseman because she has in possession of his skull, his head. So she gets him to do her bidding, and yeah, it leads to an interesting story. She was a witch. The thing is, it's important to have some sort of understanding of witches and know that they do actually exist. Because when I was growing up, I had no concept of this at all. The funny thing is, supposedly in Vancouver Island, there are witches, like Blair Witch sort of style type, that I had heard about. So my parents don't even want me going there on my own, and I'm 30 years old. There's plenty of people who live there and don't have any problems, but you never know. It's a kind of creeping hint in the background that can cause you concern. I had heard Tony Blair's wife. He was the leader of Great Britain when they invaded Iraq. I'd heard his wife was a witch. What that entails entirely, I do not know. Like, in small doses, it's a harmless concept, but like anything, it can be taken too far. And most people should have a working understanding of certain types of individuals, types of ghouls and monsters that exist in society, and they're people should be cognizant of the fact that they exist. Like I said, most of them are quite harmless and nothing to be concerned about, but not all of them. And living in Canada, where it's supposed to be one of the safest countries on the planet, what could go wrong? Why should you be worried about anything? You should still be aware. You should be intellectually knowledgeable to an extent of such things. These candies in here, on another note, are probably a load of junk. Like, I could assure you, the Crypt Keeper would have better chocolates, as I described in a previous video. As I said, I will not be handing out Halloween candy. It just would be weird for me to, given my current social situation. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. So that's not an issue. I'm probably going to eat most of these chocolates myself. Well, they're not chocolates, they're gummies, even though they are gross looking. I don't even know what they taste like, because it's not like a brand. It's not like Nestle or, you know, Cadbury. I don't even know what it is. I don't know where they're from or who made them or what. I'm sure it's harmless enough. And I got it from a reputable business, so that's not a concern. They just probably don't taste that great, that's all. I mean, for $12 and you get all that, they're so stingy, as I said. Like little tiny little pieces of like gummies. Yeah, anyway, I don't know a whole lot about this sort of subject. This is just a representation of, it's a prop I have for this video, because as I explained before, visuals are difficult with my computer for various reasons. So anyway, that's another point altogether. Just be aware that there are certain women out there that are a little bit absurd. They don't have the same level of understanding and comprehension of what the world has become as other people. And they have a knowledge of history that, when painted in a different light, allows them to think that certain behaviors they may conduct are acceptable, or even explainable. It's a long, long topic. Yeah, as I said, it's the Crypt Keeper who tells the spooky stories, and that's the way it's going to stay. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know really much else to say. Didn't entirely like the concept of witches. To me, I have seen some things that I dare not mention about them that I don't like. So I'm not going to bring that up. Anyway, yeah, I hope everyone gets their fill of candy this year, and things are just peachy. Yeah.